All right. Wow, this is weird. So, uh, yeah, we're doing a live stream in case you haven't seen already, and maybe that's somehow you stumbled upon this. But yeah, I've been promising to do a live stream where I actually assemble this Blokees model kit that I got, and I got it for Christmas. It's been ages since I've been able to actually even look at it, but I thought it'd be fun to actually assemble it together and actually check out some chats and things like that you guys wanted to do whilst we were assembling it. So I thought, what better way to actually just have fun with this than to actually be able to chat with you guys and do this at the same time, enjoy a beverage. So that's what I'm doing. Now, I am by no means a model kit builder. I have built a couple of them. I've built a couple of the Bandai 30-minute sisters. Actually, I just did one. I thought I did more than one. I was looking at the box. I have another one that's like a made version that basically you can swap in. So I'm almost certainly going to do that one. I picked it up at Anime Expo, and actually, no, I saw it at Anime Expo, and then I came back home and I was like, I got to have it. And so it was like very reasonably priced. So I'm going to try to assemble this one. I had done one of the other 30-minute sisters ones, and then I did the upgrade kit for it. That's what I did. I thought I did more than one. So again, I'm no gunplay guy, but I do enjoy a model, and I do enjoy Evangelion. So one of the things that I've been told I need is a proper knife, and so I have here an Ulfa knife that I've had for a long, long time. These are really good knives. If you don't have one and you just need like a good overall knife for cutting, I've used this for vinyl. Actually, that's where I originally got it. I used to do vinyl work, wraps and stuff like that. This knife I've had for, boy, I mean, 18 years, maybe more, and it's really been great. It's been through the ringer, but the nice thing is that the blades from Ulfa are so cheap, and this thing just keeps on going. It's been run over. It's been everything. I mean, you can see it's in rough shape, but keeps going. So anyway, the key is sharp blade, and I'm told that if there's little burrs on it, that you can use this to cut those burrs off. So I've got this ready to go. I also have now all you guys who actually do proper model building. I'm sure you've got these cute little nippers that you use to cut. I don't have those, although I do have some very inexpensive electrician's dikes. Now, they are called dikes. I am not doing some kind of slur, but they are literally called dikes, side cutters. So I'm going to see if these actually work. I don't know if they will, but you know what? It'll be fun anyway to I generally don't know. These may be just gigantic. I don't know if these will even work at all, but you guys are probably going to laugh at me, but I'm going to try it. So I'm going to try to get the chat up here. So this is the first time I've done this. So what basically I'm doing is I'm streaming it from my phone, but then I'm going to try to look at the chat from the computer, and we'll see if that actually works. I feel like it's just going to be a horrible like train wreck, but I mean, I guess that's why everybody's here, is to see the train wreck, right? So let's talk a little bit about this Evangelion model kit. This is the Blokees one, and they've got what got my attention is they originally had some Transformers ones that really looked good. But as much as I liked the Transformers ones, I need a Transformers thing that actually transforms. So I couldn't get in on those. But as soon as I saw the Evangelion stuff, I said, I got to get in on these. Namely because a lot of the actual Evangelion stuff is just so expensive that this seemed like it was right up my alley, and I'm just not a good model kit builder. I mean, maybe I am. I don't know. We'll find out quite soon, I suspect. But anyway, the box is big, so it leads me to believe it's pretty big. And it does seem like it comes with quite a lot, too. And the posability, to me, seems like something that I really am going to be into. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to start opening that up here soon. I'm also having myself a beverage. This is it's called like Straw-Ber-Ritas. I feel like I end up drinking these on vacation, not like a real vacation, like when I'm like traveling for business or something. I end up drinking these because they're like easy to get. It never ends well, but anyway, welcome and kampai. All right, let's get this thing opened up here. I guess we can open it up straight away. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to try and get this chat up because I feel like you guys are going to ask a question and I'm not going to see it, and that's going to be just terrible. All right, let's open it up here. In the meantime, what is your favorite Evangelion character? Now, it can be one of the actual human characters, it could be one of the angels, it could be one of the people who are the villains, or it could be one of the units themselves, because I don't want to spoil anything, but they're not robots. So let's hear what yours is. I love Unit 2. I do love Unit 2, and I love its relationship with Asuka. I love that they kind of match together. So, yeah, I'm interested to hear what everybody else thinks. And what version, too, because there's the original version. Obviously, everybody knows the original Evangelion. But are you more of a fan of the rebuild series, and so some people like those a little bit better. I actually think that the rebuild series, I think the animation is quite a lot better anyway. So we'll see if that actually is something that everybody else agrees with. All right, I think I might have the chat up here, so let's see if I can make that work. All right, I'm going to try to mute that, see if that actually works. I'm going to try to mute that tab. All right. Somebody said hi, so hey, thank you. Hey, you're like the first person to chat. That's amazing. Thank you. Although I just have this box in the way of the mic, so I bet you that was completely blocking what I was doing. So hey, amateur things, right? He's an amateur. There we go. All right, let's get this thing opened up here. So now anybody who's done one of these before, how difficult, I mean, how long does it take? Because I imagine it can't take that long, but I think I'm going to open this thing up and I'm going to be very surprised about how long this thing's actually going to take. All right, we're officially unboxing. I was going to get some music going on here, but I feel like somehow it's going to end up totally ruining it, and it's going to end up like I'm going to put like a copyright strike or something, and that's how that's going to end up working for me. It'll be the downfall of everything. So, okay, here we go. There's stuff in there, so that's a good sign. Oh boy, oh boy, so many bags. Oh dear, they're already falling on the ground. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I may have underestimated just how complex this is. Now there's a booklet here. That's good news for me. Yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit more than just snap together a few parts. But you know what? We're going to stay positive, and that's what we're here for. Right? My God, it's crazy. All right, well, let's see. Basically, we're going to number these together. Man, the pictures on this are so cool. This definitely motivates you to like get started and actually start building this thing, because it just looks so damn cool straight away. And you're like, I can't wait to be done. All right, so it does say, it gives you some, like, now if you've never done this before, basically it's telling you, hey, you've got a runner number, and then there's a number on the actual part that you're meant to go to. So we're all learning here. So I'm going to totally... This is going to go well. It's going to go totally well. I'm probably not going to break any of it. I'm probably not going to waste any parts at all. So, yeah, man. Here we go. And already you can see, like, the first one, like, look how many different runners there are just to do this head bit. I wonder if during this stream, that's all I'm going to get done is just this head bit. That's going to be funny if this whole time I just basically get that done. Okay, well, hey, let's go to it. I'm going to put this booklet, like, in front of me, hopefully, and, yeah, you know what? That kind of works. Oh, my God. I mean, where does one even find all these parts? But, alas, that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to use that to hold that open. All right, so we're looking for L1 11. This feels like bingo. All right, it's not any of these. Putting it over there. It's gray, so that's a good start. It's going to be gray-ish. It's not that. This is part of what I can tell. This is the pallet rifle. I can already tell that. So that's not going to be that. All right. So folks on the chat, what was the best thing that happened to you today? What was the coolest thing that happened? And leaving work can also be the best thing that happened to you, because a lot of times that is the best part of your day. I'm going to get through this drink way too fast and have to refill it, aren't I? All right. This is cool here. It looks like it comes with kind of like a trading card. And it's kind of foily. But there's also a thing on the back, which I don't want to get too close to the camera because I'm afraid it'll start like downloading the QR code. But that's cool too. All right. And look at all these hands. That's pretty wild. All the different hands that you get for this to actually put it in the pose that you want to. That's nuts. It reminds me of, what was it, Shigaraki from My Hero Academia that had all the hands all over his face. It just made me think of that immediately. All right, here's some clear bits. I suspect that might be for like a stand. All right, now we're getting down to it. Some more chrome style bits here. Not what I'm looking for. And this looks like it's very specifically for like the back stand. So I don't think that's what we're looking for at all. But this looks like it's part of the... All right. 1.1 is what it says. I'm sure some of you are like screaming at the camera now, like, no, it's in bag number 4. Come on, man, get your shit together. All right, I don't want to start out. I want to start this off wrong. It's got to be in this one. It's got to be. So, what is the very first model kit that any of you guys have put together? Did anybody put anything together that either went very well, or, much like this is going, not very well? And how did it go? Like, what was it? And I want to hear it. If you have a picture of it. Oh, you can't post pictures, can you? That's lame. I wish you guys could post pictures. All right. We're finding this. This is going to happen for sure. I bet you this crinkling is really annoying near the microphone. I apologize. All right, this is not starting out splendid. I feel like I'm just going to have to start opening these up and just going through these and seeing if I can find... I was hoping they'd be kind of more organized, but they're stacked on top of each other, and I just think I'm going to have to start opening them up and figuring out which ones go where. I think that's just going to be the way it goes, because I think this might be the one here. All right. Here we go. I'm sure people who build these are like, yeah, you probably don't want to like have quite a lot of like alcohol while you're doing this, because you know you got to be really careful. This might be it. Ah, it is. Here we go. So this is L111 is this. We're starting here. So it's L111. God, that's a small piece. Okay, I'm gonna try the dikes. We're gonna see if the dikes work. Okay. I mean, maybe not the way that the other style nippers work. I hope I didn't damage anything. Okay, there's our first ultra tiny piece. There we go. That little tiny piece is going to be the first part of this headpiece. All right, it is L1, and we need E2 3, which is not included in the same package that I opened. All right, wait. Here's a bit of hose. I'm going to guess that goes all to the umbilical cord. I'm going to put this over here. Oh, man. The way to lose stuff is going to be so... Oh, it's going to be so easy to lose stuff. Have I already lost stuff? Okay. Now, this is, I'm sure that people who build a lot of these actually have like really good like play mats and stuff. I'm literally using my Magic the Gathering playmat. I'm not sure it's a great idea because it's so dark colored, and some of the pieces are also dark colored. So maybe a foolish move on my part. Okay, we're looking for E2. E2. That's A7. Wait. This is K4. Come on, E2. F1. A6. A4. Okay. It's probably in this one right here. K3. K5. Nope. I didn't realize a huge part of this whole thing was going to be just looking for parts. I thought this would be a lot more A5. Nope. K1. Nope. Man. All right. Again, I'm just gonna have to start opening things up. I feel like it's got to be one. F1? No, E2. Oh. All right, so chat, I'm going to tell you why I think Asuka is best girl, and some people might already be mad, but I think Asuka is best girl mostly because I feel like she's gone through a lot, and then on top of all that, she basically has to do some super traumatic stuff, and she kind of just does it. She doesn't complain. You don't have to like fight her to get her in the Evangelion units. She just gets in there, and even though it's something super traumatic, she just kind of owns it. She's just like, nope, this is really difficult. This is really hard, and she just does it. And I think all of us can kind of relate to the part where she doesn't get enough recognition in her regular life, and so she needs this part of it to actually get her through and build her confidence and things like that. So that's why I think Asuka is best girl. But some people might think that she's a villain. That's fair. That's fair. She does some pretty bad stuff, and she's not always nice. But being nice doesn't always get you. It doesn't let you win all the time, and so I think that's why. That's why I like her the most. All right, I'm just gonna start opening some of these up. I'm at this point. I feel like I've tried to locate these without opening the packages, but I'm just gonna have to open all of them up here. So, okay, this is K4, and I need E2. Not it. I'm gonna put it over here and lose it immediately. All right. And open both these. All right, I'm looking at A7 and A8. None of those. Now, am I silly to think that it would be smart for them to put them all in, like all the red ones in one color? Is that silly to put them all in like one bag, all the red ones? And all right. Well, I think, now that I look at this, I don't think it's actually red. I think it's burgundy. I think it's a burgundy color, which is over here. So let's, because I'm looking at the image here, and that's the neck piece, and it's actually not red. It's like a dark, almost like burnt color. So they made it look a little bit more red, but I think it's actually burgundy. We'll see. Well, this is H1. That was a burgundy piece, but now I'm going to have to go back and look at these other burgundy pieces. I'm piece burgundy? All right. E, nope. Perhaps it's one of these. Boy, that is wild. says 1 and 3, E2, 3. We shall see. All right, back to these. Well, this is going to be a bummer if literally the first piece I can't find where to put it. I know everybody's going to tell me where to put it. Like, all right, A4. No. No. Come on, E2. Weirdly enough, though, this one's called L1, but it's saying the one that's E2 might actually be on a different number. I'll lose my mind if they are. That's crazy. If the E numbers are on a different labeled thing, I will lose my mind. So it lists these runners, L1, which is where I got this one. L1 is where I got from this, and it's listed L1. E2 is yellow. Why would it be yellow? No way. No way. Chat, no way. If this is... Dude, it's going to be yellow, isn't it? What the... Alright, that is nuts. Okay. Dude. Alright, that's nuts. Okay, this is a yellow runner, but I don't know if you can see that. On this yellow runner, there is actually painted pieces that are not yellow. I would have never guessed that the yellow runner has painted pieces that are not yellow. That's nuts. All right. Well, good news. I found it. Okay. So I'm going to go with E2 3, which is this one right here. It is the smallest piece ever. Where's my nipper? Get over here, nipper. You know what? This one I'm just going to twist it. I'm just going to twist it. See how we do. Is that common? To have like these... Have these sprues actually be like painted on there? Because that's wild. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Okay. Hoo boy. I'm going to zoom in on this as much as possible with my face. Jeez, that is hard to see. Okay. And I just snap it together. Hopefully I'm doing it right. If I don't know if you can like take this apart once you actually, if you do it wrong. All right, here we go. First piece together. It's like 20 minutes into the stream. I've literally just assembled the first piece. That's embarrassing, but you know what? It's probably not the most embarrassing thing I've done. Okay. I think I'm getting it. I need like a magnifying glass. This is super tiny. There's 3 holes and 2 pegs. The question is which one goes where. I'm going to say right there. Pretty please don't break. Ooh, this peg is a little soft. Man. Okay, here we go. I think this is it. I need much smaller fingers to do this. Man, they're starting me off with like... I wish I could have started off with some like big things that click in to like build my confidence, but they're starting with this. Okay. Wow. All right. So 24 minutes. I've assembled that piece onto there. So, wow. Just big progress here. In like 4 weeks, we'll have an Evangelion robot. But, okay, we did something. And now we're going to do basically the exact thing on the other side. So that should be faster. That should be faster. So, what you guys might not know if you're younger is that when I was growing up, Evangelion was one of the very few anime that you could actually get commercially. You could actually go to different types of retailers and you could buy it. But it was different than you're thinking. So you'd actually buy a VHS tape, and VHS are very limited on the amount of data they can hold on them. And so if you wanted to watch Evangelion, you would pay probably about 28, almost $30, and that's in 1990s dollars for a VHS, and it probably had maybe 2 or 3 episodes on it. I'm trying to remember if it had more than 3, but I don't know if it had 4. Let's say it had 4 episodes, but I think they only had 3. And so you'd pay like essentially $10 an hour, and then you'd watch it. But if you bought it and then you weren't able to actually get the next version, there was no way for you to actually watch the next episodes. There was no streaming. A lot of times there's like you couldn't go to your local video store a lot of times to get it. And if you could go, they had like one copy that was always out, or somebody just took it because it was cheaper to basically pay the late fee than to try and find their own. So I look back fondly on the 90s anime, but I also realize what a golden age we live in, that you can watch shows right now and you can watch every single episode and not miss it. And I don't know, I feel like that in some ways that's, again, we are all a little nostalgic about the glory days, but I will tell you there's some huge advantages to being able to just watch something and not have to scour the world to find it. Also, so many of us had bootlegs. So many bootleg VHSs. You would never believe it. It was wild. Because what would happen is that somebody would go to like some anime convention and somebody had a bootleg of something, and then they would basically make a copy of a copy of a copy, and it was just so the terrible quality. But hey, you know what? That was basically our version of streaming services, and again, I think it was an interesting part of the time. But I think sometimes that what we have now, it allows more people to be into the hobby and into the genre without having to hunt it down. You know, there's a lot of people who say that a huge percentage of the modern anime crowd actually came from COVID. So there was a lot of people they say were, they were stuck inside during COVID. They'd watched all the shows that they normally would watch, and they were essentially like, well, let's give these Japanese cartoons a try. And that was kind of what spawned the pretty big rise of anime since about 2019. And so I think that's kind of an interesting thing that we might find out in the future, is how many American viewers, I say American viewers because obviously other countries and other places have known about anime for a while. All right, I'm struggling with this piece here. I'm going to try and get it into the light a little bit better. It has nothing to do with the amount of alcohol I've consumed. It's simply the light. I promise you. I promise you that's it. We are still only on the 4th piece out of what must be 2,000 pieces. But we're getting there. I'm so afraid I'm just going to break it. These 2 tabs have to align perfectly. And then get in there. Come on, get in there. I don't want to force it. They don't give you any lube or anything. Okay. I'm being patient. That I hear patience is a virtue. Okay, there we go. Oh, I can see it better now. Okay, did it work? Come on. Come on. I feel like second piece in, we shouldn't be struggling this much. Oh my gosh, it's it. I had to push pretty hard to get that in there. It's a tiny little piece. Good Lord. Good Lord! Okay, we've got 2 pieces of the neck done. Now we've got to find this ball peg here. All right, ball peg, where are you? It looks like a double ball peg thing. Where is that? Good. It doesn't actually list that, oddly enough, on... All right, I'm going to have to find it. It's probably separate. It's got to be separate. All right, back on the hunt. That still blows my mind that these painted parts were on this sprue that was a totally different color. That's nuts. I'm sure some of you guys are like, yeah, bro, that's pretty common. Don't lose your mind. Oh, hold on. All right, so there's a whole bunch of these pegs here. It's got to be in here. Oh, man, I'm afraid to open this up. Oof. I wish it gave me a little bit more clarity as to whether it was this one or not. Okay, so there's two separate ones. There's one that's like a barbell, and there's one that's like, looks like a window crank. God, I hope it's this one. All right, I'm gonna open this up. Oh, jeez. Oh, it tells you. Oh, it actually tells me this one. It says it's in bag 1. That's nice. Thank you, people who designed this, for making me not lose my mind. I have lost my knife though. Okay, here we go. Now I've just got to thinking, how am I going to seal up all these bags once I'm done? I have no idea. Okay, we're going to slowly pour a couple of these out. All right. Now I'm looking for one that looks like a window crank. That's this one. It's got to be this one. That looks like the picture. Okay. Put that right there. And then one that kind of looks like... It also looks like a window crank, but maybe a little bit... Oh, jeez. Again, all of you guys are like, dude, this is like normal stuff. What are you're losing? All right, I'm just going to open these up here. Okay. What's the other one here? Okay, wait. Wow. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Okay. All right. It's the first joint, basically. Okay. One snaps on this way. Which way does the... All right. So one goes there. What do you do when you mess these up? Like, that's got to happen a lot, right? Like, you got people assemble these wrong, right? And then you're like, oops. Do you just like pull it apart? I mean, you just throw it away? Do you just weep? I don't know what you do. All right. I'm going to give you guys a heart in the chat. There. We're just going to test this out, see if this chat works. Can I chat and do it at the same time? Sure, why not? Okay. I think I have done this properly. We will... I guess that does that. And then this assembles over top of it. But it feels like that should go in further. It's got to go in further, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. Oops. I've dropped it. Okay, that goes in pretty far, actually. But this one... All right, so this part... All right, so if it's like that, then this part goes down here. Yeah. All right, so one of these is this on this side. All right, one side has the pegs, the other side doesn't. But it's showing me like this. So that means I did put it on backwards, weirdly. No, I did it right. Ha! Take that, designers who probably meant me to do that the right way. Okay. That's it. I think, yes, I've managed to do the thing. Okay, here we go. And just push these two pieces together. Yes! I have managed to make a neck. Yes. Yes, look at that. That's a neck right there. We did it. We did something. We got past the first part of page 1. I've built a partial neck. Look at that. Oh my gosh. We're just moving now. Now that we know how to do this, it's just gonna fly together now. Oh dear. All right, we got to look for the next piece. All right, L23. That's this one right here. I found it straight away. Look at that. We're already getting better. Is it the same one? Oh no, whoops. L2. All right. We're not getting slowed down. Oh geez. All right, I'm gonna put all these little guys back in here because I don't want to lose them. They're so small, and I have a feeling they don't give you extras. If they did, I'm not sure if it would be better or worse if they gave you extras. Because if you had extras, then you'd be like, oh no, I missed something. But then if you dropped, I mean, I'm telling you, these things are small. They are absolutely tiny pieces. And I have a feeling if you messed up and if you couldn't find one of these, you'd be done with your kit. You'd be like, well, that's it. 250 pieces later, and I'm stopped. I wonder if you'd have to just like call them up and be like, I need another bag 1. I feel like that you could do that. You could probably do that. It would just be a bummer because you'd be waiting. All right. Bear with me while I put all this back in here. I do not want to drop these. I do not want to accidentally end up with one of these. Oh, geez, this is such a tiny little piece. Holy God. I just thought this was... Oh, I need this too. I'm eventually going to need this, but it doesn't say where it goes yet. Oh my... Just look at this. It almost just looks like a scrap of paper. Like this little tiny piece. If I had just seen it anywhere, I wouldn't even know that it goes to a model kit. That's nuts. You have to be so careful. You need like a manager just for the pieces if you were going to build this. Or you could be organized. Or have a devoted table for it, not just a work desk like this is. All right. I'm getting these back together. We'll be back online here soon. All right, so I was going to talk about some of my favorite Evangelion moments. One of my favorites is when, and none of this, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I mean this show is like properly old, like it's been around for ages. So I love when Asuka and Shinji have to coordinate their dance basically in order to beat one of the angels. I love that because it's kind of like a ridiculous concept. I mean, it's all ridiculous because it's angels and demons and stuff like that. But still, I love that one a lot. And I don't know, what's your favorite? That's one of my favorites, and I'd be hard pressed to find another one. All right, this time we're looking for the L2 runner and the J1 runner. Okay, here we go. We're going to find these right away. We're going to be fast. Right away. I found the L2. That can't be right. Oh, it is. Man, another just tiny piece. Look at how tiny that piece is right there. Man. Whew. I did not realize how tiny everything was going to be on this. I guess I kind of thought this was going to be like a bigger item, and thus, because it was bigger, it wouldn't have so many small pieces. But I was mistaken. Okay, that's that piece. J1. It's also going to be tiny, isn't it? Now, it's black. Yeah. I see it. All right. So let's carefully carefully find these. I want to say it's this one. Nope. It looks like this one, but it's not. It says J1. That's not J1. Okay. These are K. What is this one here? That is M1. What did I say? J1? It's K1. Now, if I lose my mind... Oh, I'm so glad. This is another piece that is actually a different color. So even though it's red, it's on a different sprue. Again, maybe this is really common for you guys, but here we go. Even though this is a yellow piece, here it is, or even that's a red piece on a yellow sprue. That's nuts. I mean, I'm sure it just makes it easy for them to paint it that way, but still kind of nuts. Okay, I'm glad I learned that lesson. So if you're doing this and you're wasting time looking for stuff, plan out and realize that some of these sprues actually have completely different colors on the sprue. Okay, here we go. So this one just layers on top of this. Hopefully pretty easy. Hopefully pretty easy. Little tiny tabs. Little tiny tabs. Okay. Like, it's hard to find the perfect balance of... Okay, that snapped in nice. It's hard to find the perfect balance of squeezing this enough to snap it in and not just crushing it in your hands like dust, because I'm afraid that would happen. Okay, so this goes in the front part of the neck. So that part there, he says, with some trepidation. Okay, it snaps into this piece here. Okay. So it adds a little bit of a flexibility in this neck joint. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, so we've got part of a neck. We're getting there, man. All right, A4, 5. Aha, A4, I've got it right here. Number 5, it's a little piece right here. Great. I think we're going to be lucky if we get this head done, but by the end of this, we're going to have some head. That's for sure. Everybody deserves that on a Friday night. Everybody. If you're thinking you don't, I'm telling you. You do. You deserve it. Okay. It's a little hard to tell where this one goes, but I think it goes just like this. It snaps in. Okay. Now, I probably should have cut that a little bit. I'm going to try to cut it. There's a little bit of a burr on this. It's going to be impossible to see, but there's a little bit of a burr on that. I'm going to try and just trim that off. Not because I need to, but because I feel like I might as well. I'll try not... Okay, that came off pretty easy. All right. I wonder if a bit of sandpaper would also work, but you know what? You model builders, you expert model builders, you tell me. But I bet you a little bit of sandpaper would do. Okay. Well, we're on to the next. We're almost done with the first page. 40 minutes in. First page almost done. We're just killing it. All right. K2. All right, that's not these. I remember seeing K2. The Widowmaker. K2 is over here, I'm pretty sure. There it is. There it is, K2. All right. Here we go. K2. It always makes me wonder why they do them out of order. I've seen this at least once before. It's clear that there's going to be several pieces that are going to happen on one step, but it makes me wonder what they how they choose what they do and on what. So, okay, K2-02, which is obviously this one. There's only a couple things on this sprue, so I guess maybe we'll be finished with this sprue after this. The lineman dikes, they're working okay. I can definitely see the advantage of having one that's smaller. So if you have the proper Gundam model kit, I just say Gundam model kit. I know people have a whole word for it. This really does work good for trimming these pieces. I'm very happy to see that. Okay, so that is that piece, and I'm looking for K301. All right, so that was K2. I presume K3 is here. It is. Again, why wasn't it on the same one? We'll never know. Oh, I believe these are the progressive knives. Nice. And we're so far away from those steps, aren't we? We're just like, we've got a long way to go, as the song says, and a short time to get there. All right, K301. That is this one right here for sure. That is for sure this one. At least we're doing better. Well, I say we. I mean, it's clearly just me, but you're in this with me right now. We're doing this together. My struggles. Now, some would say perhaps not having a whole lot of tequila and a margarita would be helpful. And what I say to you is, how dare you? How dare you? I believe it adds an additional layer of challenge. You know, some people like to play on easy mode on games. Not me. All right, now we're looking for the M3 sprue, which is white. And we'll see if we can find it quickly. That's B3. What do we got here? That can't be it. That is not it. These are not it. I'm going to move this out of here. I'm terrified of losing some of these sprues or accidentally throwing them out. I'm not going to throw anything away until this thing is done, just in case there's a piece that's stuck on another piece or something like that. B2, no. No. What I should be doing is sorting these into colors. That would be what a smart person would do. But that's not me. I'm so curious. This base, I really want. This base is pretty awesome. I'm getting distracted, but that seems really cool. Okay, it's probably right here. It is. It was right under the microphone the entire time. You guys were hiding it. You were holding on to it. Okay, here we go. Yo, all right. There we go. All right. M302. I think it's going to actually end up being both of these. So I'm just going to keep this guy out. I'm just going to twist this one off, see how it does. Seems like that came off pretty good. All right, so let's start layering these on top of each other. I wish this would. I have to keep the fan on because it's crazy hot in here. This is Phoenix, so it's, even though it's not even April yet, it's properly hot, and that is what we get. That is the world we live in. Okay, that layers on top of that. Now I'm really excited to actually get just even the head done, just to see what it looks like. That it's kind of the iconic part of the character, obviously, and I can see already these are the eyes. I'm really getting excited. This is starting to be fun. Once it starts to come together, that is really cool. And I love the way that model kits, the color is basically built in, so you don't have to worry so much about paint scratching and things like that. All right. Nipping this off. I'm nipping. I'm nippy. Okay, we're going to put that on the bottom, he says, with questions. Or just keep layering. Keep layering, okay. Do I go this way? I do go that way. Okay. All right, now you can kind of see here the Unit 2 head starting to come together. And that's all those little pieces are starting to come together with a face. Okay, now I'm looking for K3-03. Now K3 was just here. Here it is. 03 right there. We're gonna dike them off. Okay. There we go. All right, and then that just layers on top of the white piece. Kind of like that. I feel like I can be called in like when they want to build the real life Evangelions. I'm like, don't worry, I got you. I built this mini head, and this is when we start building the real Evangelions, it's going to be there. All right. Oh man, I'm going to have to refill my drink pretty soon. Chat, we are on page 2 now. We are officially on page 2. It's been some time. It's been a wild ride, but we are on page 2 now. Are we going to get, how many more pages to get just the head done? Oh God, is it going to be a lot? Come on. Come on. Oh, I feel like we can get through that. We can get at least this head done. I feel like that's an hour to do the neck and head. We're not even there yet. We're getting there though. We're so close. All right. I will say this fan is definitely not helping. Okay. It's helping keep me cool though, because it's, again, Phoenix, properly hot. K201 is what we're looking for. K201. Oh my gosh. Just look at how tiny that piece is that I'm going to pull off of there. That is so easily lost. That's just wild. But that is the face of Unit 2. I'm just going to press that in between the eyes, it looks like. It's actually painted. All right, so which way does it go? There's a slot on top. There we go. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, that pushes on there hard. Yeah, boy. Okay. Now we are on to the M102. Oh, these are going to be orange ones. I know that. I've already seen these. Yeah. Oh dear. All right, these are M2. Huh, is this the entry plug? That's crazy. That might be the entry plug when we get to that. I didn't realize it was that detailed that it had. I mean, it probably literally says it on the box. This is why, like, I've had so many of these like cool models, and I've got so many things in that closet right there. Unboxings that I've yet to do. I have a really cool figure of one of the characters from Gushing Over Magical Girls. One of my favorite. Hey, oh man, is that? Oh man, I see. Is that? I have cutters. I promise you. These are dikes, as they call them, and I do have them. Man, that is a longtime friend there in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I do have cutters. Now, these are huge cutters. Definitely not as small as the little nippers that you're meant to have. But yeah. Anyway, It's working so well. It's working so far. All right, I'm gonna get some more drink eventually, but we're gonna finish this head. We're gonna get some head tonight. I promise you. All right. What was I looking for? I was looking for M102. Let me consult the book. Giggity. M102. M1 is... That's weird. It's an orange runner. Let's see if we can find orange. All right, what are you guys drinking tonight? What's everybody drinking tonight? I got this. I feel like the Straw-Ber-Rita thing I'm drinking is just maybe a little bit. It's a little cringe, but I don't care. It was the thing I found at the liquor store on the way home because all I had was stuff that. Oh, that's M2, not M1. Oh dear. M1 is right here. There it is. I don't think that's a drink, is it? I like grape. I like grape soda. It's just like grape soda, right? That's the same thing? That's the same thing, right? All right. O2. Which one's O2? Is it this one? God, that's small. 1 and 2. There's actually 2 1 and 2s. That's kind of nuts. They must be symmetrical. It's the only thing I can think of. M1, 01. Did they just give you 2 for no reason? It's kind of weird, right? So, like, we're looking for M1, but it's crazy because there's actually 2 of them that are identical, and I'm not sure there's actually identical pieces here. Oh, well. Whatever. Whatever, I do what I want. All right. There we go. So people have been asking what anime I've been watching lately, and I've been doing so much school stuff. I actually haven't been able to watch a lot of anime lately, but there are a couple that I just can't miss, and one of them is the second season of Freyren. It's just such a good show, but I will say what really sucks, is that people will try to ruin it online. They can't even wait 24 hours, and they'll put like just a spoiler from one of the scenes. Now, I get it, like the manga exists, and you could just probably just go and spoil the whole thing. But I intentionally, after the first episode of the manga I read, I said, "Oh, I can't wait till this becomes a manga or it becomes an anime," and people will try to ruin it. So I've tried to watch that one as soon as possible. So I've actually been talking about the new Dragon Ball. So that's funny you mentioned it, because the original one was kind of like One Piece. There were so many episodes. I felt like once I missed a few episodes, it was just too hard to catch up. And a lot of people are talking about how this new one is going to cut down on a lot of the filler, and it's really going to get down to just the nitty gritty. So I'm committing to watching it. I'm committing to it. So, but I'm watching Freyren, and I'm watching one called Tune Into the Midnight Heart, which is a little kind of romancy, but don't judge me. And then Chain Soldier Season 2, which is properly ecchi and like properly naughty. So that one's definitely worth checking out. But yes, I can't forget about Dragon Ball, because I feel like for years I've kind of slept on it, because it came out at a time when Dragon Ball was coming out. I was already getting into some of the other things that were a little bit more obscure. And so I was delving deep into like a rabbit hole, and the things that were on TV, I just kind of almost ignored them. And so I feel like I missed out on kind of an important part of it. It's not like I don't like to know the characters and I didn't watch some of it, but I'm excited to actually check it out a little bit more. All right, let's insert this bit here. Yeah, they just give you an extra piece of this. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the other pieces that they've actually given you extra pieces of, but this one they've given you extra 2 pieces on this sprue. I mean, I'm happy about it. I was just asking like what would happen if we lost these pieces, but they just give you extras, I guess. I wonder if it's because it's the head. Maybe if you move it around, it might pop off or something. I just don't know. All right. I will tell you, if you have dainty little fingers, this is for you. Because my fat sausage fingers, this is like, I wish I could show up close just how tiny. I'm trying to put this little thing in there. I feel like I'm like trying to put the sleeping bag into the sleeping bag. And that's just always the most difficult part. Maybe they give you extras because, oh no, it went on pretty good. Okay, that like locks that piece in. Okay, nice. Hell yeah. All right, now we're looking for K302. Oh, I remember that piece. That was the little piece that basically looked like it was a... Yeah. It was this little piece here that basically looked like a... Oh, I'm so glad we're using it now because it just feels like it would get lost. Look at this little guy. Just, it's smaller than my, like, fingernail. This little piece here. That's somehow, like, you're supposed to identify that piece. That's nuts. But I'm hoping all the smallest pieces we're dealing with straight away. Okay, K302. That is this piece right here. We're doing it, man. We're getting it. Oh, man. Here we go. Yes. Got my vehicle, or got my, if you've seen the Goonvertible, I was going to call it a 911. It's not a 911. It's a Boxster. It couldn't be more far from a 911. But I was getting emissions tested today, and the emissions guys were delighted to see all the anime girls all over it. And but it passed emissions at 100 and almost 96,000 miles. It passed emissions, no problem. With parts donated from my old Evolution, I had there's a whole bunch of vacuum lines on this old Porsche that they're made of like brittle plastic, and they're probably fine for the first 100,000 miles. But because the way the engine is, it's just kind of hot in there, and those eventually start to crack and leak in their vacuum lines. So I replaced them with a whole bunch of vacuum lines that I cannibalized off my old Evolution. So this is my public service to you. You should definitely keep old parts and hoard them. Hello, Bree. Are you here? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Been a million years. She's like, who is that annoying guy? I thought I was done with that guy. She's like, I fled away from him. Okay, here we go. This piece is going on. It's going to go well. We're going to be patient. We're not going to break stuff. Yes. Oh, this is the jaw, by the way, that I'm working on right now. Okay. Okay. Yes. All right. Now we got to attach the jaw to this bit here. So I'm going to try and do that without breaking it, which is cool because the jaw is movable, which is lore accurate. Man, that is tiny. Okay. We might be getting to a point. Yeah, man. Oh. Okay. Hell yeah. Okay, now it's time to put our head on. Yeah! Oh my gosh, I feel like we've done so much. All right. There we go. We got some head. We got some head for sure. All right. I feel like that's about as much as an hour. An hour to do this. But you know what? To be fair, a lot of it was me chasing around the different sprues. And you know what? Learning a little bit. But you know what? Pretty cool. I mean, it's undoubtedly, it's given me a feel of what this is going to be like. And the size and everything. So I think that's what I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. That's a good stopping point. So we'll pick up again, and then we'll actually maybe get a little bit further. But until next time, my name was Scott. Thank you very much for joining me, and of course, do all the things: the liking, the subscribing. If you like the live stream, let me know. I might try and do another one. I might try to do at least one more. But until next time, my name is Scott. Come by.